Well, hello and welcome to That Peter Crouch podcast with me, Peter Crouch, Notorious SID and Chris Stark with me. Everyone okay? I feel like we haven't really caught up on the Christmas stuff because obviously we had Ashley Cole, kind of, was it New Year's Day? And then Ashley Cole Part 2. And obviously this is out just after that. So I just wanted to know how your Christmases were and regards to your family.
I knew that was coming straight away.
Yeah. In regards to your family.
No, regards to yours as well, Sid.
Honestly, everyone's.
And Ross,
everyone's here.
behind the screen. In regards to your families.
And all the listeners and people that are watching. Joe, I had a great Christmas. Had a really good Christmas. Bit of mixture of downtime and work. And I come into the new year, I'm bouncing. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Are you a resolutions guy?
Not really. Not really. Like, you know, I thought I'd go on like the health kick as everyone is. I don't normally do dry Jan, but I am this month. But just more optimistic, I think.
Great.
That's
Back
it.
stronger.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
I think that's what it is. How was everyone else's? Yours?
Yeah, really
All good?
nice.
Very
Yeah.
good, yeah. Very good.
I mean, I did FaceTime you Christmas Day.
We haven't talked about this yet. This is a while ago now. I feel like we're going back to the past, so I can't quite remember exactly what happened, but you only made me aware in the new year that I didn't pick up a call on Christmas Day.
I mean, look, the timing probably wasn't great, was it?
But I was busy cooking everything. You know, I do it all.
Do you not really look at your phone on Christmas Day?
No,
Really?
because I'm frantically trying to cook the Christmas dinner. I've got a schedule that I'm keeping to.
Yeah.
And then I did send you boys a picture exactly 4:05, 4:06, whenever it was done.
I thought I'd try my luck. It was probably in chaotic time.
It was.
But that's what it is. It's fine. I'll take the custard pie and we'll just go into...
We'll move on.
we'll move on.
Yeah. But we get into January and it's a new year, and suddenly, this is the one thing that really struck me that we haven't talked about yet, is we're now in the year that one of us will be doing the forfeit for the Friday podcast. Which,
So
by the
this
way,
is
has
the
been, the Friday podcast has been missing for a little bit, but it will be back for this weekend, of course. But this is the year where this forfeit is going to happen, and I know we all have to face that reality.
I mean, I've got two sides here because I've got one side that I'm actually really nervous. I'm actually really nervous because one, I've done the forfeit last time, and two, I think this is going to be worse. And I'm actually really scared that I'm not going to be able to claw back the points.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah.
I am.
So your arse has fallen out.
As much as I said a minute ago, I'm really optimistic about this year. I'm shitting myself with this.
Everyone wants Crouchy to do it.
They do.
So we could team
Everyone
up a
wants
little
Real
bit.
Madrid to not win the European Cup, you know? When you're at the top, mate, you know what I mean? You're there to get shot at, is what I'm saying. Is when you're making predictions that I do consistently every year, people want you to lose. They do.
So you're saying that we could team up, but I think the only way we can do that is when we get our noses in front. That's it.
Yeah. Look, all I need is for him to finish bottom. And actually, we could go up together to I think, affect
You
that
perfectly
result.
listen.
It's a little bit Elon Musk about the situation, isn't it? It's a bit meddling.
Yeah.
That's like you talk about, like almost like the Red Bull administration with Leipzig and Salzburg.
Yeah.
This is
Against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
It's needs must. It's needs must. It's
This needs must.
Do you know what? It's one of them as well. It seems like we've got a lot of games to come and a long time, but it's going to come around quick.
It is.
It really is. And I don't want to go into it, but you're 5 points clear.
Yeah, I think
you got a
so,
healthy
yeah.
lead.
Yeah,
You got a healthy
listen,
lead.
I've got a decent lead, but that can get roped in, and I know there's a lot of people out there that would like me to do it, and I totally get that because last couple of years it's been you boys, and I probably do deserve it.
Remember, I was the first male cheerleader at World Darts, which we should briefly mention, actually. Luke Littler, of course, going into the new year.
So good.
I mean, no one has smashed a New Year's resolution like he has. Because think about it, before Christmas, he could conceivably go, what I want to do next year is win the World Darts Championship.
Now, did you see this? Right, I've seen it. Like, obviously, went back to Blast and Price from Feel the Power. Now, I don't know if I'm getting mugged off here, but I don't know if this is like made up. But I saw a video of him hitting quadruples and getting 240. Have you seen this?
Huh?
On the dartboard. I don't know if I've been AI'd off here.
Hold on a minute. What are you saying?
This cannot be true. Have I been mugged off?
You can get
I must have
3
been.
triple 20s are 180, aren't they?
Yeah, but on the dart, I saw a dartboard with tiny little fours.
Oh, no,
It can't be.
Yeah.
It
I
can't
think
be true.
you're on holiday.
Can you just tell me, have I been mugged off here? Look at the dartboard.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh my God!
What's the
Yeah,
next-
look, there's like an inner ring.
Look. There's a fourth little bit down the
Yeah,
bottom.
there's an-
The quadruple, 240, 80, 80, 80.
It's got an extra ring.
Yeah,
Well, what exactly? So what I'm saying here is
1993. Look, this is Phil
this an
Taylor.
AI special? Are we getting mugged off, or did this really happen? Is what I want to know.
No, there's no way this has happened.
But it's not a real dartboard, Crouchy, is it?
No, but how do you know? We weren't born. What year was that? 1980.
I don't know
What year was that?
That was 1993.
Well, so I'll be honest with you. I wasn't massively into darts at this
Ah.
stage. I mean, this is even like I'm getting done here.
I think, right, so what we're reading here is
Yeah,
this
look.
is something called a
Oh, look, it
quatro
was.
board.
An extra ring between the double ring and the outer ball, which counted 4 times the value.
It is. Look,
The quadro dart. Bring it back. 1 year only.
Do you prefer it?
Oh, I just think there's more jeopardy. Look at the quadro.
do you know what? It hasn't got a ring though, is it?
240.
It's not the same, is it?
Unbelievable scenes, isn't it?
There's too many rings on that board, isn't it?
For me, I just think that's phenomenal. I think, can we get hold of a quadro board and get it in the Chumbawamba? I reckon there'll be a lot of people here, darts fans as well, that might not know that.
I didn't know that. Chris, did you know that?
I don't know how I feel about the extra ring.
No,
personally.
I'm not a
Makes me
fan of it. Did you know
Makes me
that?
feel sick.
Did you know that? Yeah.
Makes you feel sick.
There's just something
Yeah,
that's
but-
a bit like...
But
playing with
like,
my mind.
is that not what it's about? You know what I mean? Like, is it not more jeopardy on the quadro?
I don't know. I think this is like, by adding another layer, it's a bit like, what would be the equivalent in football? Like, I don't know. It would be like making the goal massive or something, wouldn't it? As in, it's more. It makes a higher score, but is it necessarily?
but it's
the right
but it's
thing to
harder.
do?
It's so hard to get, and the pressure on going for that.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
So, do you think darts would be improved by another ring?
I just think it's listen. I just think outside the box.
I think it's going to be a lot of that this year. You know, Sids.
Do you?
I do. I think
thinking
like,
outside the
sport
box?
is developing. It's I do think.
What's the next one?
But yeah, like what is the way it improves? And they are looking at what they can do with darts now to bring it to the next level. Perhaps this is it.
The quadro.
Do you know what?
Quattro.
That's weird how your mind works, isn't it? I was just thinking there, what could they do? And then I just thought of a swimmer, right? But they had to tie one arm to make it harder. But you just go around in a circle.
You would, yeah.
I just thought,
Did you ever do swimming lessons, Sid?
Yeah.
When you were younger?
yeah.
Now tell me this: did you used to sew the badges onto your trunks?
Oh, I don't know if I went that far.
Did you sew?
I think I might have
done
done a swim bag.
What
Yeah.
about this?
I think
Onto your swim bag.
Yeah,
I think you do one. You do one onto your trunks, and then you start going on.
My trunks were all badge.
Well, how big's your schlong?
No, they were all
Can only get one little badge on mine, son.
5 metre.
I had the 10 metre one there.
You got little speedos. I think
I'm gonna try and
got
dig 'em
small
out.
badges.
I reckon I've got them somewhere.
Like all everywhere, all around.
Yeah, but the same way you had football shirts and that you've put away in the cupboards and that. My sporting achievements include,
No, I
amongst
knew-
others, 5 metre, 10 metre. The ones with the Frosties, with
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger on. And the
5 metre, 10 metre.
personal survival,
Oh, this
1
is
and
brilliant.
2.
Yeah, when you wear the clothes and you had
Where you wear your pyjamas
Yeah.
in
Get the
the
brick down.
Which I never really understood why you
No.
would be in a position where you're wearing pyjamas in the sea.
Yeah.
True.
Do you know what I mean? It's
I know what you mean, though. Yeah, it was. I mean, they were good, those swimming lessons. Enjoyed
Yeah.
them.
yeah.
All right, should we move on? All right, lads, I just got a couple of listener messages, if that's all right with you.
Yes.
Heard about the pod on the 90s shirt sponsors, and you mentioned Sheffield United. This was the one we were saying Laver, remember? Oh. That was the Brian Dean shirt, I think, one of the first goals. They had to sponsor Laver. It's a big business in Sheffield. They're the timber suppliers and other building materials for trade. They had a warehouse near me for years. They left it a few years back, and now it's been made into a football attraction. Take a look at their website. It's yardball.co.uk. I think they're doing doing a pod from here would be a good idea.
Oh my gosh.
Right, we'll look at this now.
yard ball.
Whoa.
Interesting. A little bit of five-a-side.
Of
Bit like
course,
the cage.
it's a bit like cages, right?
Bit like the cage. With
right.
Oh,
So there's a few games in
a
there.
little I like that. Oh, it's bringing football back to the streets.
Yeah,
by the looks of it.
that's
Yeah.
where. Yeah. Do you know what? I like that.
Well, if you're in Sheffield, check out Yard Ball. That's from Neil Thompson.
It was a timber yard, builders merchants, and then they've. That's quite good. Good attraction, eh? Okay, got another one here from Ben. Hi, Crouchy, Bonfire, and the BBQC. Hope you and your families are well. Just wanted to get in touch and get your thoughts on the attached image. Okay, so I spotted this at the T20 cricket game in Australia. The fella in the photo was a steward at the match, and despite having no active role to play, was wearing full studded boots along with matching neon green laces to go with his high-vis vest. I'm thinking this guy is a definite candidate for seatbelt on before starting the engine. Love the pod, Ben. Okay,
seatbelt on before the engine
Let's
started.
have a look at your steward.
Okay.
Here's the thing. What I see here is a steward that I really believe is going to act on.
He's ready to go.
He's ready. He's primed. He's almost set himself like he's about to do a 100-metre sprint.
Yeah.
This is what I want to see from all stewards. It baffles me at the football. I have quite a distracting moment at every Watford game when in the 85th minute or so, or if it's getting a bit troublesome for them, they sort of parade out and one at a time. This guy points and goes, you go there, you go there, you go there. And then they sort of sit down as if they're on a beach.
It's a funny pose, isn't it? It's like a half pose and they just sort of chill.
I can't bear it. It's like their front cover of Nuts magazine. Do you remember that?
That's exactly what it is.
It's like they're doing a bit of a naughty pose. And I understand they don't want to get in the way, the view of the... But I also don't like that they're looking out at the crowd. I sort of feel like they should be primed. Have you seen Messi's bodyguard? It should be more...
So there's a guy at Spurs, right, who's been there for years, and he's always worn, even when I was playing there, he's always worn like boots, and he is ready to go. And when people get on the pitch, mate, I've never seen him like it. He's got dreadlocks, right, and this fella he is quick, and he's got the boots on, and he's never slipped ever, and he takes them out within 5 seconds, job done. And honestly, he must be the highest paid steward in world football because he's relentless.
I love this.
Relentless at taking people out. Streakers, like they don't do it. They don't even try as at Tottenham.
But I think with this podcast, I think we've always been advocates of if you're going to do a role in football, do it the very best you can be.
Yeah.
And I think it applies to every bit. Even the streakers themselves, if you're going to do it, just do it properly. And that's maybe a discussion for another day as to how that would happen. But with stewards, I would love to see just a bit more... dynamism. Sometimes I look at stewards and I think you don't look like you want to be here, and I understand a job is a job, but I want them to want it. And
this guy's
it. And I also think with stewards, you never see him warm up, do you?
He's got an earpiece in as well, this steward.
Yeah, mate. He's not. Also, he's got what looks to me like a.
He's got like an earpiece in.
It looks to me, like that round his back. Like, is that like a cam, like a chest cam?
I thought that was a stats one. You know, like the
stats.
What? So the steward is wearing a GPS.
So afterwards, but that's how it should be, Sid. So I think there should be a post-match analysis, a heat map showing who went where. You know, the effort, the yardage that they've produced.
Covered.
And let's throw it out there. Look, if you are, because there'll be stewards listening, and you know, if that's you, we want you to. I think there's a bit of an air sometimes, and I see the way that they're kind of directed around. Sometimes it's a bit like, go there, go there.
Because I get to the game because I do the football. Like we get there early with TNT. You'll know it as well, Sid. You always see them having a team meeting beforehand, right? Stewards.
Yeah.
So there'll be one guy and a load of people listening to the direction of where they're going to sit, where they're going to do, what they're going to do, and like how they're going to do it. I'll be honest with you. In those team meetings, there's one person talking. There's a lot of people not, I would say, very disinterested in the situation. And I think let's change that dynamic. Let's have some pride in being a steward. You know, let's go. Do you know what? Today I'm going to be the one that stops someone from getting on the pitch.
I want to see stewards. I want to see fans in the crowd wearing high vis. You know, to support the stewards. I want to see the stewards applauded out on 85 minutes. It's all just, I don't like it because for me it's a bit
applauded out on 85.
I often,
so when they come out,
right? It's the stand. The stand stands up.
Right, that's it.
You got to
Right,
do that.
If we can get that
gotta
going.
get these
If
trending.
we can get that going. You know what? If you're listening to this, right, and when the stewards come out on 85, you might not get everyone going, but start it. Just start the appreciation for the steward and what they're about
Get
to
on
do.
your feet and give it above the head clap. Like, I think they need to. They're getting nothing from the crowd. They're getting
I
nothing
agree.
from whoever's in charge of them.
I know what you mean. That might make them perform
Yeah,
more.
they'll start taking more interest. You'll get more people sign up who have some pride in what they're doing.
Start giving a ripple back.
Let's start getting names on the back of the high vis.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know
what
what I mean?
Let's go.
Get
We're
it
going to
going.
do it. We do it properly.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's give the stewards a.
Well, I just think,
bit more.
we've looked after referees in the
Yeah.
past, and I think now let's appreciate when they come out and, give them a real good.
They're your club stewards.
Applause.
What I'm saying is, if they're coming out in the home end,
Yeah.
right?
It's your team, part of your team.
It is.
They're there every week, just like you are.
No, listen, I am so for this. Seriously, I think it's brilliant.
But I think it's going to take a few fans to really go for it. And then, there's never been a chance that's been made for the stewards. Like, it will get there, done right. It's
No, there's been a few over the years.
Yeah,
to
but
film.
Steward.
What can we? You need to go
are
send
they,
in some
are they even
steward
called
chants.
stewards anymore?
Are they not?
I don't know. But either way, we'll call them that for now until we're told otherwise.
Okay, got one more message here. All right, Crouchy, Bonfire, and the BBQC. Just wanted to give a huge congratulations to Chris, or should I say Reese. We all know how much he secretly loved performing at the Ali Pali stage last year. However, it appears he's taken it one step further by going undercover and renaming himself as Reese Griffin, a professional darts player from Wales. Now, I've attached a couple of pictures below. Chris, no clue how you find the time to be a groundbreaking radio host, a world-renowned podcaster, and now an up-and-coming professional darts player. Love the pod, boys, from Josh.
What's this?
Are you across Reese Griffin?
I have had a couple of people tag me in, yes. I think he's a very handsome chap. Yeah? I think the boys are laughing because it is remarkably similar. Very handsome chap.
Wow.
Very handsome chap.
Fantastic.
I think it's
Oh, well. We'll keep coming in. I mean,
so Reese Griffin.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, we'll back Reese then, will we? Move
Reese is our
forward, keep
man
an eye
now.
on him.
Oh, there. 100%. Let's hope he
Ambassador
wins
for
it.
the pod again.
Wonder if he
Let's
likes
do it.
barbecues.
Yeah. Well, let us know, Reese.
Right, lads, we're bang in the middle of January.
Yeah.
And obviously January's a busy month. Did you ever move in January, by the way?
I had 2 moves.
Did you?
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, is obviously it's carnage. I think the FA Cup's in January, isn't it? There's transfer activity going round, loads of games.
It's a strange one, isn't
How
it?
did you find moving in Jan?
I didn't have a deadline day one. Mine was done sort of mid-Jans. I had Villa to Fulham. That obviously I told you about was I had the Wolves medical and then going to Fulham at the 12th hour, and I had Stoke to Brighton. So it's they were kind of both planned.
Stoke to Brighton, that's a biggie though, isn't it? What I find wild about this January transfer window is you can go into Christmas and not know where you're going to be living a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
It's unlike anything else, that, isn't it?
Yes, the second one I had the Stoke to Brighton one. Like the discussions had kind of been had in December for the new year, but the Villa to Fulham one, like you're right. So in the Christmas, I was probably going to be staying in the Midlands. It was kind of staying there and going to Wolves, but then before you know it, I'm back down into London, and but it's a strange one. Like January is a real strange month because you've got the fixtures, the back end, like the Christmas schedule, which is manic. Then you go into January. Then you got the FA Cup, which is great because I obviously always look forward to the FA Cup, as you did, and we spoke about that. Then you go into sort of a spell where you've got the transfer window, so you're going to be knowing that you're going to probably be getting 2 or new faces in, and also losing 1 or 2 faces as well. So there's a big shift in that. What, pre-Christmas to end of Jan. It's a strange time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was trying to think. I was racking my brains and seeing whether I moved in Jan. I don't think I did, but then like I definitely remember going in January from Stoke right at the end of my career to Burnley, the last move I ever made. I ended up retiring kind of at the end of that season. But
did you know that was happening though in Jan, or did you have a feeling that it was going to happen, or was it out the blue?
like we talked about it obviously, like at the Isle of Wight festival with Sean Dyche, and do you remember when Abby was my agent?
Of course.
She said, "Why don't you sign him?" And then ended up actually signing me.
Yeah.
But that I don't think was actually how it happened. But I think there was some part in that. But I was completely disillusioned with Stoke, and you know what it was like. Sid, towards the end of my Stoke career, it was quite a toxic dressing room. It was the writing was on the wall, and I kind of lost. I don't know. I lost my love for the game really a little bit, and I think the chance to go to Burnley at that time, still in the Premier League, it reignited me again really. And I think you said, you know, about you not knowing where you're going to live or and stuff. Like for instance, that time Ab was pregnant with Jack, of Divrat at the time, and I literally thought like, oh my God, like I can't really do it. Can I do it? Anyway, I ended up moving, and I was living in a kind of hotel on my own. And if anyone knows, it's the Northcote Hotel in it's near a Blackburn, I think. Beautiful place, by
Lovely
the way.
breakfast, you were saying.
I'm not joking. The food there is off the charts.
Every time I saw Crouchy at that point, because I would have to come to and from his hotel like some sort of escort. Travel up there. We'd come do the pod in your bedroom, and then I'd leave and come back.
I heard all about
That was
this.
Crouchy's booty call.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Michelin star.
Oh my God,
Michelin
yeah.
star.
And but like, obviously, I went there, and obviously, Abby was pregnant, but you know, she was in a family home, but she felt sorry for me. So obviously, I didn't let on much that you know how actually it was fine, you know, because obviously she was going through a few difficulties with the pregnancy. Not nothing bad, but just like it was hard, and she was taking it out on me a lot. You know,
Well, you befriended the chef. Do you remember? You were mates with the chef.
Pardon?
You were mates with the chef.
Yes, I was friends with the chef. So when she was calling me and obviously saying, "Oh God, I hope you're so far away from home. Like, I hope you're okay." And when I was on the fourth tasting wine, and I was, you know, knee deep in foie gras.
Knee deep.
I was slicing my steak, you know, like it was like a knife through butter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was stunning food, amazing. But she felt really sorry for me. It was kind of a win-win.
It's a massive win-win, isn't it? I mean, the loving husband that you are, when the wife's in need, you've moved further away.
Well, it's not as if I wanted to, but it was kind of like that was the option for me. She said, "Look, just go. We'll stay here." And obviously, I was up a lot of travelling.
Yeah.
But when I did have to stay over
You did come
before
back
games,
a lot. I do remember that time.
I had to come back
You
a
did
lot,
come
yeah.
back a lot.
Well, I had to.
Just on the baby thing, do you know what's fascinating? I read something beginning of this year that, because you had a baby similar time to me at that point, and you said your one was called Divot at the time, Divrat. Put that out on Twitter, everyone. Now, I did the same. I said my child's going to be called Troy Ian Bango Stark, right? As a joke. And it ended up, like, I remember getting a call about, like, the mail have run with, you know, your kid, is this really your kid's name? But by then it was too late, it's all there. So if they ever look it up, it'll be Bango Stark. Anyway, the reason I say this is I was looking at new baby names this year. Bizarrely, Bango has...
No way.
And I
Shut
do
up.
wonder if...
Bango.
Because we just
You
came
started
up
the
with
trend.
that. Well, no, I don't know. It'd be interesting to know how many kids are called Divrat now. Or Bango.
Or Ian, for instance.
Or Ian.
'Cause, you know, Ian was something that we came
But I
up
think because we said this, I think now a couple of years have passed. I think actually people have been reproducing, and now the babies are coming.
I think you've subconsciously planted the seed, and it's...
Why did we go with Bango for your...
Can't remember. I think we just thought it was funny. Like, but now,
No, I remember what we
now
took
there are
that.
kids called Bango.
I remember what happened. You just came up with it because you said, "Why can't we just create a name?" And you just went, well, "Bango."
How did you come up with that?
But then if
I
that's
think
the
you did.
case, and kids are literally being called Bango now,
Yeah, look. Couldn't be prouder. My little lad is here.
Look, Chris Stark, Troy,
Ian Bango Stark. Right, Ross, go on Divrat.
yeah,
Because Divrat,
Divrat was
baby name Divrat, because I had to deny it. I had to come out and deny it.
Look at this.
I had to come out and
It's in all
deny
the
it.
papers.
Yeah, look. Peter Crouch announces the birth of his baby. Is after Divock already. Peter Crouch, birth of his baby son. Our beautiful baby was born Monday, June the 3rd. Mother and baby Divock Samrat Crouch.
Samrat! God, you forget this stuff, don't you?
God, I had to come out and deny it was called. Abby made me come out and deny it was called Divock Samrat.
Oh, what a start. Peter Crouch momentarily had us believing he and Abby Clancy had named their son after a footballing hero and a curry house.
Oh, so good. So good.
Fantastic. Yeah, well.
Anyway, if you are calling your kid Bango and Divrat, like, amazing, absolutely amazing. So that was in January, you're thinking. So when you actually made that move?
So yeah, with regards to the move, I didn't actually make the move. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of went into a hotel, but that's quite often what happens. I remember going on loan to Norwich, and I stayed at Dunstan Hall Hotel, and I think I've discussed it on the podcast. I ended up making friends with the builder. I was single at the time, and this builder was staying in the same hotel. And I kind of met him in the bar. I didn't always drink, but he did, and we just struck up a bit of a weird friendship in this hotel in the middle of nowhere, because he was working on a job, and I suppose so was I, and we just ended up being mates. And because you only stay there for a couple of months.
Yeah,
Are certain footballers more susceptible to a January move potentially? Just where they float around, those footballers that float around more clubs.
I reckon like strikers,
relegation savers,
strikers definitely.
Yeah,
strikers definitely would float more.
Yeah,
I was thinking like
more.
Like a Marcus Bent or something like that. So you can't get goals, but you think. He can get his goals.
I wonder if we could find out a stat of what striker has moved the most in January. Like a Marcus Bent.
You know, it's like managers, isn't it? When you're struggling, you call a Pulis or a Dyche to get you out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, like there'll be strikers where you go, we could nick him. Well, he could fire us out.
Especially in Jan, because if you're chasing the title or you're chasing to get into Europe, you need a striker. If you're trying to get out of relegation, you're trying to get a striker to score your goals.
Well, I think that relegation bit is a powerful one, because if your manager is still at the club in January, ultimately by then they probably know they're in trouble, and come out and be very bold about signings that need to happen. Because you often see that with struggling managers, don't you, around this time, that they have to come out and be very loud about the fact we need signings. Yeah. You know, this is the actual problem, not me.
I also think what's interesting as well is that with the whole Bosman thing, you can sign for another club, foreign club in January, like a pre-contract agreement. And obviously this whole thing, was happening surrounding Liverpool as well. It got me thinking about it, right? And I don't know if you've seen this thing recently about the highest earning players, because obviously we talk about Mo Salah and Van Dijk, Trent, what potentially they're after.
Who's been on the most?
Yeah, who's been on the most since the Premier League began? So this is something that came out recently, and let's see if you can guess it. Yeah, the highest earning player was on £10,000 a week in the 92-93 season and 93-94 season was John Barnes.
So that's when the Premier League first started. When
it first started, John Barnes, the highest paid player, on £10,000 a week. Fair, right? I think he was brilliant at that time.
So at the time, the Premier League's average annual wage was 77,000, which just
annual.
In comparison to today's, obviously.
Yeah.
So in '92, in the first season, the annual wage was £77,000 a week. Sorry, £77,000 a year.
Yeah. So the Red Star, he was on
520 a year.
Yeah, £500,000. Yeah, you'd say that. John Barnes, probably around about that time.
Yeah. The most interesting part of that is £77,000 a year.
Wow.
Now,
on average, yes. Think of amazing players around that time. On average, 77.
That's mad, mental. Yeah. All right, so move on to 94-95. Eric Cantona.
Yes.
So this moved up to £18,000 a week.
So this would have been, he would have gone from Leeds to Man United, wouldn't he? So it's like when a new player goes to somewhere, ends up bumping up.
Yeah, and you think of some of those amazing United players, but they obviously went through the club, didn't they? So I assume. What I'd be interested to know is all them younger players that were coming through at that point, did they have roughly the same deal at the time for going through the academy?
At United?
Yeah.
The United lads?
Yeah. Thinking of how young they were, I just wonder if at that point, in the way the Premier League was, would they have all been on a similar deal?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
No, I think he'll always be on more. I think he'd
Well, Cantona, but
No,
I mean,
no.
because Cantona signed, I mean, like, if
think
you were an
the players are all
academy
the same?
group, that group of academy players
Similar.
that were
Yeah.
coming through, I wonder, especially sort of looking at how Fergie was,
That's it.
I wonder if he kept Bex on the same money as, I can imagine Giggsy probably had a bit more.
Yeah,
But-
because he was
but-
before them, wasn't he?
Bex, Nicky Bart,
Yeah.
Neville's.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were
Davidson,
all on
yeah.
a similar.
I would have said so. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then I remember this 95,
Yes.
96, Arsenal signed Dennis Bergkamp. And it goes up to 25 grand a week.
25 grand a week.
But I remember him signing him in it, yeah.
1996.
And he didn't score for a while, did he? Do you remember?
No, and also, he wasn't playing at Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Remember that? It
It's
was
Bruce
the Arsenal-
Rioch that signed him, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So he come in. So Eric Cantona was there. You'd probably put Dennis in what, not the first batch of foreigners that come over, but what was the Premier League going then for about 3 years? Then wasn't it? 4 years.
Yeah, I mean,
the
you
fourth
still you
season.
had Zola over. They would have been like Cantona, Zola.
Yeah.
Yes, there were a few coming over. I think
Yeah.
Hullet might have been over, but Zola maybe came just after that. Viali.
Okay.
Interesting. Then we go on to big jump, 42 grand a week.
25 to 42.
Fabrizio Ravanelli.
Ravanelli,
Yeah.
the highest paid.
Well, that's when they signed
Highest
Juninho,
paid transfer.
Ravanelli, Emerson.
So this is So these are all wages, right?
Yes, wages. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and his move was 7 million.
Yeah. I think you got to take it like this. This must correlate with the Sky, with the rights and the TV
Yeah.
money and that, and the Sky package
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So
Shearer on 97, 98 and 98, 99. It was when he signed for Newcastle. He was on £34,000 a week.
wow. So Ravanelli was only in the Prem for because he scored a hat trick, didn't he? Did Ravanelli score a hat trick on his debut against Liverpool, if I remember rightly?
I can't remember that. I remember he got a lot of goals.
I'm going to throw this out there. Ravanelli scored a hat trick against Liverpool at Middlesbrough, and Liverpool wore the cream kit.
Well played.
Look at that. On the opening day of the season.
Great knowledge there, Sids. I don't remember that game.
It's mad. Middlesbrough got relegated the year he joined.
So he signed for
And
42.
he's on that much.
Yeah, but also Juninho, Emerson, like they're some team they had as well,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
So Shearer. Oh, okay. So once we start getting into the late 90s and early noughties,
99, 2000, 2000, 2001. Mind you, I mean, it's 52 grand a week and it's Roy Keane,
yeah,
but they did win the treble that year.
yeah.
It's hard to
Didn't
kind
you
of
say he
argue
had
with that.
something in his contract? What were you telling me before?
Well, there was a rumour that he had something in his contract that would have parity with the highest earner at the club over that contract. So Noel could earn more than him.
Did you ever try flex that?
I'm
Flex that.
going to say no.
It's such a bold thing
That is
isn't it?
brilliant.
Well, it's like literally saying I'm going to be the best player.
Yeah, not even
for
just
the
now,
remainder of my contract.
For the whole, yeah.
If you can,
And it's getting them to agree
Yeah.
that you'll be the best player.
yeah. Oh, working again on 90.
Yeah, so someone's come in. I got a feeling Ruben Van
So
Nistelrooy or
this
someone.
must actually back it up then, basically, this rumour. If he's
Yeah.
gone from
That's
52
almost doubled.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm sure someone like Van Nistelrooy or someone would have come in and that might have taken him up to that wage.
Right. And then...
This is where it goes interesting, I would
Yeah.
say, because in 2003, 2004, Hernan Crespo comes in on 94 grand a week, and we should say could be complete bollocks. We just got this off. I'm not getting Crespo's confirmation on this, but
Is this
This is
Abramovich time now?
what's that?
Is this when did
Oh,
Abramovich
yeah, it's
come
coming.
in?
Abramovich, yeah.
Crespo was his first signing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. For the Roman Abramovich era.
God, they signed Frank after that, did they? Well, Frank Lampard goes up to 98 grand a week in 2004-05 season.
Which was the season that they won the league. So,
Yeah. And Gerrard goes up to 100 grand a week is in the season that they won in Istanbul.
I wonder if this is... That would have been an era as well, wouldn't it? When England would have been, like the boys playing with each other would have been not necessarily saying to each other, "What you want at Liverpool?"
Yeah.
But it become knowledge to go. Well, if Lampard's on that, then I want to be on this. Do you know what I mean?
No, totally right. Yeah, Andrei Shevchenko goes up to 118,000. Obviously, it's a bit of a theme of Chelsea players here. John Terry on 135 in 2007-8, and then City. Obviously, the people in charge of City now come in, and Robinho. Do you remember him?
Was he the first?
I remember
was he their first signing? I do.
Yeah, I do.
It's such a point in time, that isn't it?
160,000 a week.
Oh God!
Wow. And then Carlos Tevez is
Hold
just
on,
because everyone.
160 a week, Robinho, to now Tevez to 250.
250 a week. So Tevez is now the Premier League's highest earner for the next 4 years, until Wayne Rooney for the next 4.
So was this when Rooney come out and going?
He was going to go to Man City.
I want to go. Yeah,
It was Chelsea as well. It was Chelsea and Man City, I think.
Yeah.
And then
He
obviously,
put a transfer request in, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah.
Look at that, they've obviously just gone, okay, new 4-year deal, we'll put you on the highest in the Premier League. £300,000 a week.
You know, when you're around these footballers, right, 300 grand a week, do you really notice the difference in their wages? Do you sort of see it?
No.
Not really.
Is it cars or lifestyle? Is it just so much money in all the players that you don't see the back end? It's almost the tip of the iceberg with all players.
Well, I remember, do you know when he was going through that period of like, Chelsea, Man City? I remember seeing him in the soft play. In I think it was in Didsbury.
With his kids or him?
Yeah, with his kids, yeah. I remember sitting down, have a coffee with him and say, "What's going on, mate?" Genuinely. Both in the soft play discussing whether he's going to Chelsea or not.
It's so good, isn't it? Great. Of all the places, not even a coffee shop or somewhere.
Yeah. We had a little cappuccino, little div wrap was going down the slide. And I just said, like, what he said, well, you know, it was obviously the conversation probably should be left there, but you know, we discussed it. We weighed up the pros and cons, and we decided to go with the 300 grand a week.
Super.
You must struggle at the soft play. Because the amount of times I've had to go and salvage my child from,
Nightmare, mate.
where they just get stuck.
You need to just point this way.
Yeah, that's what I do now. I just point and stuff, get them through it. It's like
Jump.
Jump now. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a nightmare. Well, you know my history, obviously. I wasn't allowed in at one stage. I remember going to Butlins in Bognor Regis, and they didn't let me in because I was too old. I said, all my mates are in there. Because obviously you go by height, don't you?
You were too tall.
Fella wouldn't let me in. Yeah, said, you thought I was like 16 or something. About 12. It's a sad day for me.
Yeah, I bet, mate.
I got through it though.
I really, the thing is with the soft play, I find unless you stretch a bit, like obviously you can't be on the side of a soft play stretching, like
quite nimble.
Yeah, I'm not nimble enough, so you injure yourself quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, and if I saw a fella
out.
stretching at the soft play, I'd have.
That's definitely the same as a seatbelt before you start the engine, isn't
Imagine being on 300 grand a week, right? But it pops up on Sky Sports, you've been injured at a soft play. It must happen.
Well, it does, yeah. But things really move on. They ramp up here. Got Alexis Sanchez comes in on more than Wayne Rooney for 2 years. And then we move on again to David De Gea. Man United are seriously trying to compete.
How mad is that?
Do you believe goalies should be on this money?
Absolutely not.
Goalkeeper.
375
it's an argument.
grand.
It's an argument that no one should really.
Yeah, but this is taking the piss, isn't it?
Yeah.
So hold on, we just went past Sanchez on 350. But De Gea's taking the piss now.
Oh.
He's taking the piss. The keepers shouldn't be
on
that.
The mad thing was, I think he did justify, justify his wages. He was like their player of the year for 4 years out of 5, I believe. So it was something mad, some stats.
He did well.
They did get...
He was there for 12 years as well.
Worth,
and like, you know, good luck to him. You know, it's not his fault, is it?
Oh, yeah.
But he's a goalkeeper. This jumps up massively. Now, you see, I've read about this one. So this goes up to Gareth Bale in 2021. 2020 to 21 was 560 grand a week. But I believe it was when he went to Real Madrid, and I think Tottenham played some of that, and then Real Madrid paid some of that. So it wasn't one club.
Yeah.
It's still a decent amount of money.
But explain that situation to me. 560 grand. So why are two clubs paying him now?
Well, because when he was
because Spurs could go, look, we can't pay them wages. That's not in our wage structure. Real Madrid obviously want to offload him, so Tottenham will say, what we can afford is this to put forward to his wages.
Right, okay, so fine. So Tottenham are paying less for the player that they want.
It's almost like a loan spell, wasn't it? Or something. Like they bought him but loaned him back to the club. It was a strange situation that I don't know the ins and outs of, but
560 grand a week. I mean, that is just mind-boggling. That is. I mean, what do you spend that on? What would you spend that on?
Some golf memberships.
What?
Join another golf club?
I mean, to me, I'll tell you what that is. In my brain, that's Grand Theft Auto. That is, you buy the golf club. You go around and buy everything, don't you? You parachute yourself out of a plane just to get to the golf club. You let it just collide down into...
But also, you have to retire at an early age, don't you? And like, if you're sensible... Like, no, but I'm saying, like, you want to, like, live an incredible life like he's obviously living forever.
No, it's...
And then you can pass it down to your kids and your kids.
Oh, it's generational.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you could jump out of a plane on the way to the golf club you own. Of course, which would be fun as well. But, your kids could be looked after.
Is that true as well, that Madrid or in Spain, they pay him twice a year? Have you heard this?
That is correct, yeah.
So he would have been... So normally players get their salary every month. They say it's per week, but you obviously get it monthly. Whereas in Spain or abroad, they get them basically every 6 months. So imagine getting 500 bags a week.
Yeah.
Collectively over 6 months. 12 more every 6 months.
12 million every 6 months? Is that correct?
Imagine structuring that into your direct debit.
That could be a struggle though, couldn't it? Like, someone banks 12 million in your account. How hard is it to not buy a golf club and jump out of a plane?
All I'm picturing is that Michael and Grand Theft Auto. The times I've done it, I've gone and robbed a private jet, go to fly over where I need to, Vice City, and then just jump out the plane, let the plane deal with itself. Like, it just glides off into somewhere, and I parachute down onto whatever house or golf course I want and buy it. That's Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale. Put a disclaimer on that. That's not what he did. Hopefully.
Just on that then. So that all lands in your bank account. Now, if you were to put a bank card in and click check available balance, what happens to the screen? Does it show it?
I'd like to think it can hold that many zeros. Yeah, it would show it.
Do you reckon?
Or what do you think it says?
I think it's a bit like
lots
the
of
Millennium Bug. It just doesn't know what to do. Oh, God.
Well, this guy certainly got a lot of cash.
Yeah, I don't know why this has turned into a cash podcast, but
we should get Martin Lewis on. Tell Gareth Bale how to best invest his money. Or should anyone listening to this right now end up on 560 grand a week?
Well, this is the place to come to. So we can help you. Well, yeah, I don't know how this has happened, but it's just an interesting list. I thought I'd bring it to your attention. We've ended up talking about it for ages. Cristiano Ronaldo goes, it's 21-22 season, he's on 480 a week. But that's Manchester United paying all of that. I'll be honest, let's be honest, the last few years, a lot of the United players have been on this list, so I imagine all of them at one point, they're all on this amount of money at one time.
Yeah, they had the highest wage bill, didn't they, for a long time.
I mean, that feels like a lot. But... and then we go, obviously, Ronaldo leaves and Kevin De Bruyne takes over for 3 seasons in a row. And that takes us up to this year.
I wonder if they're happy.
It's a fair question.
Well, those players, they'll still have their issues, don't they?
Of course they do.
You know?
Can you remember when players come? Can you remember being at a club when a player arrived in January that you went, oh, this is a big one for
What,
us.
like?
Torres, surely.
Yeah, Torres was one, definitely. Yeah.
Because that was leather jacket. I always remember seeing a picture of him in a leather jacket. Torres.
Yeah.
Sergio Jorginho, or whatever it was.
So your one would have been Torres when Torres come to Liverpool.
Yeah, but there's a few. I mean, we signed Mascherano, didn't we? And that felt like a statement of intent.
In January.
No, in January.
in Jan.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I could never decipher between Jan and.
We had one at Chelsea. We had Anelka come in.
Was that a game changer?
In January?
We had Anelka come in Jan and Ivanovic. So Ivanovic was, again, probably unknown, and no one would have known that he would have gone on to have done what he'd done in his career for Chelsea, especially.
What a player.
But when Anelka come in, it was like, because Drogba was like leading the line for us then. We had a bit of a tough season that season. But Shevchenko was sort of in that form. Kalou was obviously dipping in and out. Drogba was obviously the main man. But when Anelka came, it was like, oh, this could be the one that now steps us up. And I think I actually played the next game with Anelka in the FA Cup. It was his first game. He scored. He played Wigan away. And you know, ones where you just go, oh, this could be a little game changer for us. Picks the squad up and also just drives us forward to the end of the season. Yeah, that would have been one.
I think Anelka probably doesn't get the credit he deserves, really, like for how good a player he was. I remember at Liverpool. Do you remember when he got known to Liverpool? And at the same thing again. And I remember a lot of the players at Liverpool, like when I was there, I think they were like, he was a joke, absolute joke at Liverpool. And the same, you know, it was Bolton scored. That was ridiculous. He ended up at Bolton.
Well, we signed him from Bolton.
Yeah, he came from Bolton.
From Bolton to.
And no disrespect to Bolton, but this is a top, like he's a European, you know, a Champions League player. He should be a Champions League club for his whole of his career. Yeah, the talent he had.
Yeah, he was one. Where was you when? So Torres went to Chelsea as well in January.
I'd already left for Portsmouth.
So when you was at Portsmouth, so Lassana Diarra left Chelsea to sign for Portsmouth.
Wow, what a player!
That's a signing.
What a player!
Yeah, so that's when I was there as well. So he left in Jan to go to Pompey.
He played for Portsmouth with us, and then he went to Real Madrid after that.
Yeah.
But I remember because he was at Arsenal, Chelsea, Portsmouth, and then went to Real Madrid.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like mental. Yeah. And it was like, how have Arsenal and Chelsea let this player go? When he was at Portsmouth, we were like, we've got to play. He won't be here long. You know what I mean? He's one of those where you just went, this is a ridiculous player. And I just don't understand how he fell through the net at Arsenal and Chelsea.
Do you think it's better to go in January or the summer?
The summer.
I think
the summer you got more time to settle in. If
summer you normally get a testimonial if you've been there that long and stuff like that, don't you? Or you get a sort of proper
10 years, over 10 years, yeah.
You get a
yeah. I think in the January one, you need to hit the ground running.
Feels like you're straight into a season there, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's no like dwelling on what you've achieved at a club or, you know, bedding yourself in. It's like, we got games to win straight away. And sometimes that can be a blessing. You know, Suarez came in January, didn't he? I think with Andy Carroll.
Well, it was that. I'm pretty sure it was that January where Torres left to go to Chelsea,
and they got
Suarez come in before because he was going to be playing with Torres, and then Andy Carroll went in the same month.
Yeah, but like because they had a lot of money, didn't they? So. Off the back of the Torres deal.
Yes, that's what it was, and yeah.
It's something that makes football very different, isn't it? This January transfer window, because in some ways, you think that all this business could wait to the end of the season. It is interesting that football has adopted this thing, sort of halfway through a season, you can shake it up, you can do these transfers. Doesn't happen in any other job. Would be amazing if it did.
Well, I suppose it would be.
Just think of where you work right now, wherever you're listening to this. And imagine you could poach from, let's say, your Currys, and you go get main guy from Dixon's. You know, like January transfer.
True,
shake things up after Christmas, you know?
It does shake things up. When you get someone come in, you're like, oh, especially if they're in your position.
Yeah, imagine. You imagine, like, you know, someone from Hart comes in at Capital.
That's what I mean. It could be massive, couldn't it?
Or the other way, you know what I mean?
What would you do? Would you welcome open arms, or would you be a bit more sort of
same as you guys? It depends what a threat they are to you. You know,
what would your direct approach be?
Depends who's signing. Is it who we signing?
Well, say we get Amanda Holden in, right?
For the podcast?
For you. Okay, Capital.
I mean.
You know, what do you do?
Well, you saying that, I suppose. Well, for instance, like, yeah, if you want to take this podcast into consideration, I think there's
But I think if it's a position for position sort of thing, do you know what I mean? Like, normally someone's joining the team, and let's say it's a goalkeeper, a defender, you haven't got to worry about them, have you? They're at the other end of the pitch. Amanda Holden wants to come in and produce the podcast. Well up for it.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah,
Sorry, Ross.
But, you know, if Chris Moores wants to come in and be a part of the podcast.
Exactly. Or if Amanda Holden wants to come, suddenly she's on the sofa, I'm looking at her going,
yeah, like,
fucking hell.
I'm not having this. For instance, Dion Dublin wanted to come on the pod. I'd be thinking, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Or Gareth Barry fancied a stint, do you know what I mean? So it's like.
Exactly. Gareth Bale comes in.
Okay, I'm going to come in like a steward. I'm wearing the studs next week.
But I just think in any walk of life, you know, if someone comes in and you think, well, hold on a minute, you know, and they've got the big coat on early doors.
But does it encourage people to pick up their game? You know, after Christmas, it can be a bit, I don't know, lethargic sometimes.
January is a lethargic month in general, like out of football. But I think in football as well, it's difficult. It's a funny one because it's fucking freezing. And you see players in the tunnel, didn't you, before the game going,
I always think of Aspria when he signed for Newcastle, when it was snowing and he had that big coat on. He did. Do you remember that? He was thinking, fuck me, this is freezing. Do you remember? Yeah. Can you imagine what he was thinking when he came? That's what I'm saying. Like, there are players that come over from all, you know, don't realise how cold it is. I actually saw a fella today. It's funny enough. He's Mexican, and he served me. I get a cup of tea before I come up to the pod, and I see this fella every morning. And only for the last year though. And he said it's his first Christmas. And I said, "Oh, how was your Christmas?" First time seeing him. How was your Christmas? He said, "Yeah, it's a bit cold. It's a bit different here." He's from Mexico, and this was his first one here. He was shell shocked, mate. Honestly, I'll give him 2 weeks, mate. He doesn't want to be here.
You're right, though, because if players are coming in any walk, like in football or wherever, but in January, this is what they're facing from the off, isn't it? It's a different proposition to signing in the summer when it's all nice. And
I think it'd be hard for us, you know, if we went abroad, I don't know, somewhere where it was hot or, you know, a bit humid or something. I'd find that difficult.
Foreign signings when they come over in January, being thrust into like the FA Cup first game. Yeah, like because the first round, the third round proper.
Third round,
is always the first week in Jan. Imagine them going Hartlepool away. Freezing cold going, what have I signed here?
Do you know what? I remember seeing so many players come over and we just expect them, like, I remember their first training session, right? They've been on a big flight, they've adapted to a culture, they don't speak the language at all, their family's not here, they've left them behind, the kids have left behind, and all of a sudden, first training session, we go, shit, crap. I've signed a dud here.
But this
you know what I mean? That's how ruthless the game is. Like, that's how players speak, and then the fans will see him on the weekend, write him off. He's no good.
Here's what I don't get. Most of the season is sort of done by April, right? And then you players will go off and do hot weather training. And you'll go to all these nice places. I'm like,
what, mid-season?
Well, I think you guys should be. You're spending most of your year cold, aren't you?
Do dark weather training.
That's why you're in Dubai.
Cold
in the
weather
summer,
training.
pissing around.
Well, that's so true.
Surely you should be.
Antarctica.
Well, I was going to mention that because that's what gets you through January, isn't it? Because more often than not, most teams now go away in Jan or early Feb when they either get knocked out of the FA Cup or the team they're playing is playing the FA Cup. So I think any manager now that sees an opportunity to grab 5-6 days away can get to the chairman and go, need a bit of warm weather training. Give us a reboot.
Piece of rehabilitation on some of the problems that you've had and stuff.
So hang on. So in January, do you know roughly where you're going to be travelling to that year? Do you start thinking
more
of it
often
like
than
that?
not now, teams will go, Dubai's a banker.
For when?
In January, February. Yeah. Jan, we've done it, haven't we? It was January, February, wasn't it? Yeah. Dubai's a banker. I've done Tenerife as well.
It's a piss take, this, isn't it?
Where else have you
It's
gone?
actually a piss take.
It's warm weather training, Chris.
For a cold climate. You're not playing in the summer.
Yeah, you do that and you come back and then you're still freezing.
Yeah, but you're all in. Everyone's, look how many injuries there are now. You know what I mean? It's like just a chance to warm up those injuries.
It's actually bollocks, isn't it?
Please,
Listen to it, 500
I don't
grand
want
a
to be the
week
one
and a
that. I
couple
don't want to be
holidays
the. I don't
a
want to be
year.
the one that grasses everyone up. It really helps. All right.
It does. Look at Arsenal last season.
Flying.
Hey? Arsenal last season after Dubai, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's so important, Chris. All right, should we wrap that one up, guys? I enjoyed that, though. Really enjoyed
Nice.
it. Because I've got a couple of messages I just need to get into, if that's all right. Hi, football's sexiest pundit, fish finger and barbecue.
Why are you fish finger? Have I missed that?
I think you might have been away for that one.
Paddy Power labelled me, called me a fish finger
What? Context?
years ago. A tweet. They put a tweet out.
I do sort of remember this.
Yeah.
Can't quite remember why, but
Love how Big J's remembered that and put it in there. But anyway, here we go.
I'm glad I'm called football's sexiest pundit.
Anyway.
Hopefully that one catches on. Just a quick one on people's nicknames. There was a lad in the job was caught taking money from people's lockers. He was that bad, he was even taking the coins. So the lads gave him the nickname Menopause because he's going through the chains.
I've heard that. That's
From
good.
Big J.
That is good.
Oh my God, imagine.
Menopause.
No one would know what that is.
You don't want that one.
God, you don't
You
want
don't
that
want
one. I can think of a few. He could have been called worse, to be fair. He's nicking people's money. Right, I've got a long one here, lads. BQC, Bonfire Bollocks and Peter Cross. I've just caught up on the nostalgia episode, which got me thinking about footwear and previous players. As a nipper, I played a lot of indoor football, mainly knocked about in AstroTurf trainers, repped the total 90 gold trainer. For context, I lived in these, ensuring I was equipped to knock a ball around at any given opportunity. I actually bought my little boy a pair of these, because he plays on Astro a lot more. Yes, the Astros?
yeah, nice.
I've got him some of those today, actually. At my brother's football presentation, there was a surprise guest, the one and only Trésor Lamana Loire, whilst he was at Portsmouth. With him in position signing autographs, I had nothing in hand, but I was not missing this opportunity with football's finest gymnast. With no hesitation, I untied the laces and whipping off the left trainer. Loire did the honour and signed the trainer, and I remember the smile beaming from side to side as I walked off, not realising that I would be kicking a ball in those again. It's with great sadness that I have absolutely no idea where the trainers are now, but nevertheless, a memory which lasts forever. A question for Crouch and Notorious. Where does a manager or physio team stand on acrobatic celebrations? And is Loire the greatest footballing gymnast the world has ever seen? It's such a shame these celebrations are out the game now, but imagine completing a full gymnastic floor routine only for VAR to rule it out. Love the pod, properly addicted. All the best, Cole.
Wow.
Nice.
But guys, do you know what? It's actually really good.
Enjoyed that.
I mean, Loire.
I mean, it was a
We
joke.
all remember
Legend.
that.
Yeah. He did pull a hamstring though. I remember he pulled a hamstring at Portsmouth.
What, doing the celebration?
Yeah, he was out. Yeah, he carried on the game, but he done his hamstring.
So do managers, that's such a good question. Do managers ever have a go about the celebrations? Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Especially after that, I'm sure Harry was in charge. I wasn't actually at Portsmouth at the time, but I didn't play with him. But
It'd be done in private though. I don't ever remember a manager
coming out and saying no.
speaking about it out or in front of the team. It must be done. They must have pulled you into the office and go, fuck it.
I think it's fine until you get injured.
Pete, when you score, you can't fucking keep raising your hand because you're gonna pull muscle.
Yeah, that's why the robot's so spectacular. Because there's no issue with injuries. It's safe.
Just on the Astros, obviously you must have had a pair because what ones did you have?
Astros, God, I put him way back then.
I had do you remember the Puma Kings?
Puma King Astros. Yeah. Quite like
Do you
them.
remember Puma King Astros?
I had the Puma.
fold
I
over
had
tongue.
the Puma King
Oh, look, there we are.
boots. I had the same ones because Esprit wore them, and I loved them. I thought they were the coolest thing.
Yeah, I had the Puma.
But you could
King
get the Copa Mondial Astros.
Yeah. I had the Pumas for some reason.
But Messi's got this gold pair that I bought my little boys. They're black and gold.
I don't know if you're finding this with kids in general. They're all supporting Arsenal at the moment. Have you noticed this? I think a lot of playgrounds are becoming dominated by Arsenal.
Really?
It seems to be increasingly hard for my little girl to support Watford, and it's a crowded market. I don't know what's happened. Seriously, everyone's
How old's your
becoming
little girl?
9.
Do you take her as much as you can to Watford?
Yeah, I mean, she loves going.
Yeah.
but she seems to be reporting back that everyone's supporting Arsenal in her school.
Okay, so
Nieces have
carry
said
on.
the same. I noticed one of them's just converted to Arsenal self, which is a shame because they're in the Watford area.
Funny, actually, I got some inside info. I'm not sure if we saw Onachu. I'm saying that right?
Southampton player.
Southampton player, anyway. The 6'7" lad, he's
Yeah.
a good player.
Yeah.
It looks like a good player. I've heard he's a good player. He's got a backflip in the locker. I'm not sure if we've seen it for Southampton yet.
6'7"?
Yeah, and I was thinking, there's no way you could do a backflip at 6'7". I would imagine. Having being in this body, I'd have absolutely no way I could do a backflip.
Have you ever tried it?
No, I actually haven't. But you know what? That could be my
You try it in the pool. You
resolution.
must try it in the pool. Like hanging off the edge and...
Yeah, but I could do a dive like that, but
Yeah.
I couldn't land a flip.
I think 6'7" to propel yourself in the air
And then land on your feet.
to go out. Yeah.
No.
But he's got that in the locker, is what I've been told. I'm not sure if he's done it yet for Southampton, but
That'd be amazing to see. And you've heard he's got it there, but maybe
got it
hasn't
in the
been
locker,
released.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
so
keep an eye
stay
out
tuned for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think physios enjoy that
No.
behaviour.
No chance.
Last one here, guys. Hi, 2 meter bonfire and barbecue boy. Love the pod. My wife.
I'm not laughing at you. All
Well,
three
I
of
don't
them.
know. It's just mental. 2 meter bonfire and barbecue boy. None of
It's
our names
great.
are in that.
What's
It's
a
great.
podcast?
It's great.
Okay, love the pod. My wife and I emigrated to Brisbane in July, just 2 of the buggers, last year. Listening every week gives me a little slice of home. Given I've managed to put on 3 kgs in 2 weeks over Christmas, I thought I'd try my luck with a healthy 11.
Lovely.
Okay, manager, Ronald Koeman.
Yeah.
Keeper, Flabianski.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice. Centre back, Jog Terry.
Yeah.
Virgil van Hijk, Ashley Diet Cola, Steve Thinnan, No Beer Solano. Okay, so we've got Mark No More Mars, Steve Eatswell.
Hey.
I did.
Fantastic. Harry Kuehl,
That's very good. That's good.
Mo Salad, Matt Letitia.
Lettuce.
Letitia. Best regards to the 3 of you and your families. Thomas, Robert, John Twin.
Good.
Well, carnage.
Fascinating.
That was
though.
everywhere, that one, that pod. I enjoyed that.
It's good, yeah. Just hoping that we don't have a sort of January transfer between us all. Hopefully we'll be back stronger next week.
Yeah, let's hope so. And
But you never know, 'tis the season.
it certainly is. And do you know what? Listen out, when your stewards come round, always just
yeah.
get on your feet. You know, it might catch on. And
We
can
want
end
this
up
to catch on, actually.
Do you know what would be
Yeah,
interesting is 85 minutes, have a look around at who else stands up and gives it. You've got to commit as well. That's the deal here. It's going to feel silly at first, but this could be, a very respectful way of us motivating the stewards.
Yeah, I think that'll be lovely, that, with the stewards. Perhaps hashtag stand for stewards.
Stand for stewards.
Let's do it.
Let's get right.
This is so
This is great. It sounds like clap for carers, which I really, really like. It's our own.
It's stand for stewards. Let's get behind it, guys.